Good morning, everyone. Welcome this morning to the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Northern Nevada, where it is our mission to grow together in love, faith, justice, and joy. My name is Xiomara Rodriguez, and I am so honored to serve as your worship associate this morning. I am really looking forward to the service today. As we celebrate Reverend Martin Luther King Jr., I would like to quote a couple of things, some of his words that are important to me, and I'd like to share it with you guys. Let us realize the arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends towards justice. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in a moment of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy. The time is always right to do what is right. Let us not seek to satisfy the thirst of freedom by drinking from the cup of bitterness and hatred. With these words in mind, I would like to welcome you all here, no matter where you are today. If it's inside the sanctuary or on Zoom, hi Zoom, we welcome you. We welcome you here regardless of racial identity, economic circumstances, your age, immigration status, sexual orientation, or gender ID. We welcome you, and we are glad that you're here. If this is your first time here or your 150th time, we are glad that you're here. Also, you can sign up for our newsletter that keeps you informed of all the activities here at UUFNN. We ask that all respect the wishes of the folks that choose to continue using social distance. Sorry about that. Whoa. Social distance practice upon communicating with one another and be intentional about honoring person boundaries. For those of you on Zoom, you will remain muted during the service, but you can put your comments on the chat box. And you can also stay following the service for coffee and time of conversation. So no matter where you are today, sit back and enjoy. We came here to a voice of truth and to wade life. So welcome. Now, if you want to, please take a few moments to greet one another in whichever way is best and more comfortable for you. A hug, a handshake, a wave, an elbow bump, a fist bump. And if you're on Zoom, say hi, or put out a sign that says hi. So greet one another, please.
Hello, dear. How are you?
I am doing great. Dave is doing great. The surgery came out okay. He's cancer-free. No chemo, no nothing.
My father-in-law had prostate cancer back in the spring. We thought we got it all. And then a couple of days ago, his legs stopped working. It had gone to his spine, and now he stopped eating and drinking. So, Liam is my son's a little could be. And we're probably going to be doing long-term. I'm not really emotional about it because the man stopped talking to me 15, 16 years ago over some slight to his dignity.
And what a great day it is to be together this morning, to come fully present, to say yes to the invitation, to come fully present, heart, mind, body, spirit, to open to the possibilities held within the crucible of our time together this morning. Xiomara will light our chalice for us as I offer these chalice lighting words from the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr. We must all learn to live together, or we will all perish together as fools. We are tied together in the single garment of destiny, caught in an inescapable network of mutuality. And whatever affects one directly affects all indirectly. For some strange reason, I can never be what I ought to be until you are what you ought to be. This is the way our wondrous universe is made. This is the way it is structured. I don't know about you, but I woke up this morning with my mind on freedom. Can I get an amen? Yeah. We have the wonderful opportunity this morning to celebrate some new members who have made the decision to join with us recently and have already officially joined, but we celebrate them today. And so if you are one of those brand new members, would you come forward so that we can celebrate our ritual together? And David Shirey of our membership team will lead us.
Thank you. And we do have a large class today, so if you would, please hold your applause until I'm done with all the intros, because we have a whole lot of people here. And if the new members, please, if you would wave at the audience when I say your name, because I can't keep everybody straight at this point. And if somebody's not here, just say they're not here. I know Laura's here because I saw her. Laura Cloninger. Laura has been in the area for 18 years, the last 3 in Reno. She admits that attending Christian schools for grades 1 through 12 completely turned her off to Christianity. So we hope to help her discover her path here at UUFNN. Bourne Morris. I know Bourne is here. There you are. Bourne is a mystery writer with 4 published novels to her credit. She has never previously been affiliated with any religious denomination, so we are quite pleased that she has decided to join UUFNN. Mercedes Krause. Mercedes comes to us from Las Vegas and has studied both the Muslim religion and Lakota, Indigenous American, spiritual practices. She now comes to UUFNN to continue her faith exploration. Carolyn Murray. Carolyn has been a Reno resident for 6 years and is passionate about pro-choice, the right to die movement, suicide prevention, and more. So obviously, Carolyn is a perfect fit here at UUFNN. There's another page here somewhere. There it is. Diana Glom Rogan. Yes, in front of me. Diana is from Chicago. Originally a Catholic, she later attended a Southern Baptist church and then joined the Unity congregation across town in the 1980s. As a polyglot, you can look it up, we welcome Diana to UUFNN. Deborah Graham. Deborah? Not here? Okay. Karen Franks. I know Karen is here. Karen has been in Reno just 2 months and comes to us from Austin, Texas. She attended a Presbyterian church in childhood, as did I, so I personally welcome her to UUFNN, as I do her husband, John Franks. Also comes from Austin, what a coincidence. His childhood was spent in the Lutheran church, but I welcome him to UUFNN nonetheless. Aspen, is it pronounced Murillo? Aspen? Oh, Aspen's not here. Okay. Hannah. Hannah's not here. Betsy Stewart. Yes, Betsy. Betsy has been in Reno for over 6 years and has been attending UUFNN for the past 3 months. She discovered us through a political event for Cisco Aguilar, so we say, thank you, Cisco, for sending Betsy our way. Colt Stewart. Coulter is his name. He is Betsy's husband, as you can imagine. He admits in his bio that he's not quite sure exactly how he will engage with UUFNN, but I can assure him that he will certainly be given many options. Nicole Caron. Oh, all the way at the end. Nicole is certainly peripatetic, look it up, having previously lived in California, Florida, England, Georgia, Germany, Colorado, Texas, and now Reno. And I will introduce her to Bill Quinby as she professes an interest in music. Deborah Graham. Deborah? Okay. Jenna Clark. Yes. Jenna moved to this area about 4.5 years ago. In her life, she has been a school teacher, a school counselor, and a licensed therapist, and is now excited to become a part of our spiritual community. Keith Lockard. I know you're here. Yes. Keith is a local boy, born and raised right here in Reno. He is seeking a circle of caring friends who are interested in spiritual growth, so we know he has come to the right place. Did I get everybody? Good. Welcome all to UUFNN. Now you may applaud.
Indeed, what a grand day of celebration it is for all of us here at UUFNN, and we honor your commitment to become members of the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Northern Nevada. We know that you did not come to this decision lightly, and so it is fitting that the first question I will ask today is to those who are already members of our congregation. And the response will be on the slide. There we go. Members of the congregation, will you now welcome these newest members, enlarging our circle of community and covenant and embracing the gifts they bring? And to the new members, would you mind reading your response?
We bring our gifts and talents to this time and place. We look forward to being co-creators with you of this union.
Welcome and congratulations to all of us. And so we have had 16 new members. As you noted, not everyone is here today. 16 new members have just joined us, and I really encourage you to take some intentional time and get to know each one of them. They are wonderful folks. I'm delighting in getting to know them. So, yahoo!
As we just experienced, our beloved community just got a little bit bigger. And here, in celebration of the legacy of Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, Dr. King knows a thing or two about beloved community. In fact, he kind of popularized the term. And so I'm going to read a quote by Dr. King, and after I finish, I'm going to invite us to kind of sit with the quote, and I'm going to invite one or two brave souls, if they feel so called, and if no one raises their hand, that's okay, to come up and share how this community has been a beloved community for them. In part, after our sharing, I'm going to invite the children of our congregation to follow Lois. Lois, if you want to raise your hand. We're going to follow Lois and join Lois and I in the nursery, where we are going to try and build a beloved community of our own in a different kind of way that may involve lots of blocks and toys and crayons and other things. So these are the words of Dr. King. Love is creative and redemptive. Love builds up and unites. Hate tears down and destroys. The aftermath of the fight with fire method, which many suggest, is bitterness and chaos. The aftermath of the love method is reconciliation and the creation of a beloved community. Physical force can repress, restrain, coerce, destroy, but it cannot create and organize anything permanent. Only love can do that. Yes, love, which means understanding, creative, redemptive goodwill, even for one's enemies, is the solution to the race problem. And he shared that in 1957. Another way to hold Dr. King's words is that a beloved community is a group of people who come together to solve social issues, to heal division, and to join together during struggle. And in the short time that I have been at UUFNN, I have come to understand this place as a place of beloved community, a place that comes together to solve social issues, a place to heal division, and a place to join together for struggle. And so I want to invite you to just take a moment, a minute, and think about, for those who have been here a while, how has this place been a place of beloved community for you? And for those who are new members or recent members like myself, what does beloved community mean for you? And how can you help create this place to be the beloved community you need today? So I'm going to invite you to just kind of sit in the silence for a minute, and then I'm going to invite one or two folks, if they feel called to share, to just share a little bit about what beloved community means for them. I want to invite you all to just take a breath. Silence can be a little unnerving. And I want to invite, if there's anyone who feels called to share just a brief reflection, if you are able, please come up. You can raise your hand. There's also no pressure.
I came to UUFNN in 2004, and a previous minister's husband said, "You're a UU." And so I came here. I love it here. There is so much social justice work to do, and that's, I think, what should be all our calling. And my license plate says odd duck, and I have had that for a very long time, and I'm less of an odd duck here. Although don't tell me after service.
Oh, one more. Yeah.
I'm Lloyd Rogers. I was married in the Unitarian Church in Quincy, Massachusetts, the Church of the Presidents, in 1967. So I have been associated with Unitarian churches since then. Committees, chairmanships, boards, social justice, like we all do. The number one theme that's run through my life is music. My pet phrase here is, without music, there is nothing. And so I have sung in choirs all that period of time. This is also a recruiting call, by the way, for those of you who would like to join. But there's a spiritual element to that centers me in every service. And I deeply appreciate that and the opportunity to be together. Thank you.
You can. Oh, they can't. The Zoom folks can't hear you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I also became a Unitarian in another state in Wisconsin. And for me, it was an anchor, a place I could go, number one, to hear just beautiful and good things that filled my soul. Again, the music that just, it brought tears. Being here brings tears, just hearing the good words and the words of the songs. And then also the other part is the safety. Not having to be or do anything to be a UU member. That is just, it's so wonderful. Just come, be able to open my heart, feel free to let my tears of joy or happiness come out, and just be and hear beauty.
I know many folks here can share about how this place has become a beloved community for them. And I want to uplift all the voices that have been shared, honor the stories, and also honor the stories that are still in our hearts that will come out over time as we build relationships with one another. So it is at this moment I want to invite, if there are any children or youth who would like to join Lois and I invite Lois to stand up and walk towards the nursery, and you all can follow Lois. And we are gonna do something around building our own beloved community.
I want to join the kids. I'm youth. The purpose of the church is to encourage all who gather there to grow more generous in spirit and in action. This is a great end of all the world's faith traditions, to bring the human beings closer to the divine by acts of creation and compassion. We now take an offering that allows us to exercise all important generosity of spirit, an offering that will support this self-supporting church and its many ministries. The gift of the congregation will be mostly greatly received. For those of us here physically in the sanctuary, we'll be passing the basket. For those of you on Zoom, you can do the offering virtually by texting 73256, putting UUFNN in the message box and hit send and follow the instructions to provide your offering. You can also mail a check to the office to 780 Del Monte Lane, Reno, Nevada 89511. And you could also go and sign up for automatic giving. Contact the office and Carol will send you an automatic draft authorization, or you could pull it out of the web. Here UUFNN. Each month, we also give folks the opportunity to share our generosity by sharing with a designated nonprofit. The Share the Plate recipient this January is Eddie's House, which is a unique combination of motivational education, hope, support, and a safety network that encourage participants to look past their circumstances to what could be. Eddie's House believes that each individual has the capacity and the ability to move forward and become self-sustaining. The ability to make smart choices is one of the most important tools we can supply. This requires one to understand who they are, their capabilities, and their obstacles. So with that, now let the offering begin. Help me and Jeanette bless these offerings to the work of this fellowship, which is helping more people grow in love, faith, justice, and joy. We dedicate ourselves, and these are offerings.
Sleep, sleep tonight, and may your dreams be realized. If the thundercloud passes rain, so let it rain down on him. Ooh. So let it be. Ooh.
Just this past August, our sibling Unitarian Universalist congregation in Atlanta unearthed 2 archival thank you letters written to the Reverend Eugene Pickett, who was former minister of the UU Congregation of Atlanta. He went on to serve as UUA president. One of the letters was written by MLK, and the other was written by Coretta Scott King. The letters are evidence of a very close and personal relationship between the Atlanta UU congregation and the King family. They're so powerful, and they tell the story of how the congregation supported Coretta and her family in the immediate aftermath of Dr. King's death. Reverend Terrence Strauss said that for many days after the letters were found in a congregant's basement and presented to her, she wept over them every day. It was a little bit of history so important to that congregation, but had been kind of forgotten. And so they were brought to the fore, and they were shared widely with sibling congregations. And it's something to be celebrated and to hold up as a model of who we really want to be, that is a part of our collective history. And so I want the letters to be shared with you.
Surrounding Selma in our Alabama voting project. I neglected to express my deep gratitude for your sponsorship of the dinner honoring me on January 26th. Please accept this belated note of appreciation. I must confess that few events have warmed my heart as did this occasion. It was a testimonial not only to me, but to the greatness of the city of Atlanta, the South, the nation, and its ability to rise above the conflict of former generations and really experience that beloved community where all differences are reconciled and all hearts in harmony with the principles of our great democracy and the tenets of our Judeo-Christian heritage. Sincerely yours, Martin Luther King, Jr.
Dear Reverend Eugene Pickett, thank you for your letter of October 24th, informing me of the contributions which you have received for the purpose of establishing a memorial to my husband. I am enclosing letters to the individuals you listed, and I would greatly appreciate if you would forward those to them. Please convey to the members of your congregation my deepest appreciation for their help at the time of my husband's death. Their concern and sympathy were demonstrated in many ways and made a tragic and confused period less trying for my family and me. It would have been impossible to provide for the many visitors in my home without the generosity of the members of the Atlanta Unitarian Church. The food, transportation, lodging which they provided will be remembered as a tangible demonstration of the brotherhood in action, which the Unitarian Church has always stressed. Opening, sorting, and handling the tremendous amount of mail sent to my children and me would have truly been an insurmountable task without the help of the people who responded to the Unitarian Church's appeal. Through the years, the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Atlanta has been a leader in bridging the gap between the white and black communities. My family and I will always remember how warmly and willingly you extended friendship and love during our most difficult hour. Please know that we will always be grateful. Sincerely yours, Coretta Scott King.
What a poignant piece of history that so demonstrates the UU congregation of Atlanta living out the vision of what Dr. King called beloved community, living out what it looks like to be beloved community to one another. You know, sometimes we get caught up in the micro of beloved community, like the discussion that we had earlier. And really, Dr. King's vision was more of a macro, a way larger, more global vision of what he meant by beloved community. I'm drawing on information from the King Center in Atlanta. Maybe some of you have visited there, as I have. But the beloved community is a term that was first coined in the early days of the 20th century by philosopher theologian Josiah Royce, who founded the Fellowship of Reconciliation. But it was Dr. King, also a member of the Fellowship of Reconciliation, who popularized the term and invested it with a deeper meaning that captured the imagination of people all over the world. For Dr. King, the beloved community was not a lofty utopian goal to be confused with the rapturous image of the peaceable kingdom in which lions and lambs lie down together. Rather, for him, the beloved community was a realistic, achievable goal that could be attained by a critical mass of people committed to and training in the philosophies and methods of nonviolence. So his community, beloved community, was a global vision in which all people can share in the wealth of the earth. In his beloved community, poverty and hunger and houselessness will not be tolerated because the standards of human decency simply will not allow it. Racism and all forms of discrimination, bigotry, prejudice will be replaced by an all-inclusive spirit of siblinghood. In his beloved community, international disputes will be resolved by peaceful conflict resolution and reconciliation of adversaries instead of military power. Love and trust will triumph over fear and hatred. Peace with justice will prevail over war and military conflict. And it's important to note that in Dr. King's vision of beloved community, it was not devoid of interpersonal or group conflict. Instead, he recognized that conflict was an inevitable part of the human experience. But he believed that conflicts could be resolved peacefully, adversaries could be reconciled through mutual, determined commitment to nonviolence. He believed that no conflict need erupt in violence. And he believed that all conflicts in the beloved community should end with the reconciliation of adversaries cooperating together in a spirit of friendship and goodwill. As early as 1956, Dr. King spoke of the beloved community as the end goal to the nonviolent boycotts. As he said in a speech at a victory rally following the announcement of a favorable Supreme Court decision desegregating the seats on Montgomery's buses, he said, "The end is reconciliation. The end is redemption. The end is the creation of the beloved community." It's this type of spirit and this type of love that can transform opponents into friends. It's this type of goodwill that will transform the deep gloom of the old age into the exuberant gladness of the new age. It is this love which will bring about miracles in the hearts of human beings. And so I ask us today, given the powerful piece of history from the UU congregation in Atlanta and Dr. King's vision of the beloved community, what about us? Where are we with living out the legacy of Dr. King? Where are we with establishing the beloved community on earth? Where are we with nurturing and building the kind of partnerships evidenced in the history of the UU congregation in Atlanta? I stand before you today humbly not having the answer to that. I stand before you today asking for your help, your dreams, your intuition, your desire for beloved community, your passion for Reno and the kinds of partnerships that we might want to form. And so I challenge us today as let's not let this weekend go by as a celebration of a holiday. That's not how it was intended. I think it's intended as a recommitment, a reminder, a way to do service. And so how is it that we might choose to put some new intention and some new passion, some new ingenuity, creativity, love into living out Dr. King's vision to establish the beloved community? May we find ourselves renewed and ready to move forward in living out this vision. Blessed be and amen.
Circle round for freedom. Circle round for peace. For all of us imprisoned. Circle for release. Circle for the planet. Circle for each soul. For the children of our children. Keep the circle whole.
We gather our hearts and our spirits as one in these moments of community prayer and meditation. I invite us to a few moments of reflection to ponder how it is that we might be the hands and the feet and the hearts and the voices of love in our community, in our neighborhoods, in northern Nevada, to make a difference to ensure that love conquers hate and that peacemaking conquers fear. Those who are on Zoom are invited to record what is on your hearts this day in the chat as we engage in a few moments of reflection. And so we gather all of our intentions, all of our dreams, all of our hopes for our community and our world, all of our celebrations, our concerns, our worries, our fears, and we know that they are held together in the heart of love. And we offer our gesture that has become our tradition, one hand on the heart, palm extended outward. It's the energy of love as a way of saying, we are all together in this community. We can do things together that we could never do alone. Blessed be, and amen.
And we have a couple of announcements. One, it's for the Women and Children Center. If you have spare coats, blankets, please take them to them. The women and children could use them. It's important, February's coming, and it's going to be cold. And I'm going to give the mic over to Karen and Nathan.
I want to thank you so much for joining us today and hope that you have received something that you needed from our time together. I will be joining the Zoom folks for your coffee hour in just a couple of minutes, so stay on and we'll have a conversation and allow me to reconnect this month with the folks who are joining us on Zoom. We do continue to provide a meal for our houseless neighbors every Wednesday. In your email, you can see what the posse needs. You can drop things off between the buildings every Wednesday by early afternoon. We want to keep diligent about that effort through the winter, and we're so grateful to all the volunteers who participate in that effort. I think that's everything for the moment. So would you rise in body or spirit as we build a new way together?
Every
Would you please remain standing for our benedictions? Beloveds, the spark of love in each of us, all gathered together, is enough to conquer fear and hate in our world. May we go forth from this place and love lavishly. Blessed be, amen, and namaste. If our newest members could gather in the gathering room for photos, that would be great. New members, photos.